In the future, Oh. Alright, do we want to just redo that bit?
It works. Welcome back, Space Cadets, to Hal Dave's trip to Jupiter. And the recording is actually working.
Oh god, thank god.
Thank God. We can make a fool of ourselves online.
Well, in the future, gaming is still not kosher.
You did that on purpose while I was taking a drink.
Yes, I did.
I once got a friend in, like, 8th grade to, sneeze out milk by laughing. It was special. But, we're fighting, like, demon things now. They're also not kosher.
You need a minimum of 13 hearts.
Okay, so I was not too far off when I said 12.
Yeah.
The bats, fortunately, can be defeated with the boomerang, but do we want to take this door? I'm gonna say yes right now. Okay, so we've entered into a dark, dark room, which can only be lit by the candle. And this begins an interesting trend of dungeons where we have to use our candles and other items to light the way and deal with much more complicated hazards than previously.
Oh yeah, well, I remember when I was first exposed to something like this when I had to have Pikachu learn Flash.
Oh yeah. Well, unlike the original Pokemon game where Flash is only used once, the candle continues to stay useful throughout the dungeons.
Well, that always took me off with Flash, just because it's such...
It's forced upon you, and back in Pokemon Gen 1, you couldn't remove HM moves.
Well, as weird as it sounds, a Pokemon ripoff I thought did something better, and Pokemon later adopted this with Sun and Moon.
There's this field moves exist independent of the character's moveset?
Yeah, they applied them to your main character instead. So there's this Game Boy Color game called Imagination, and it's based on a card game that didn't get popular, but it has some good mechanics, for what it's worth.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, it's a pretty fun game. The character is a cynical American kid, instead of,
Instead of an optimistic Japanese kid.
Yeah, in the Japanese version, he is an optimistic Japanese kid.
That seems to be a thing.
Well, in the American version, I think it works better for one reason. The world is a little more dark and cynical.
Power of friendship.
The world is a little more dark and cynical, so he actually fits the tone of the game better. And, like I said, instead of the monsters having the moves, and it has kind of like a card battle system to an extent, but you have to collect monsters from the wild, and they do level up. It's a unique game.
So notice what we just did here, actually, because my sword beams destroyed the Hershey Kiss monsters.
Yeah?
They're called Choo-Choos, by the way.
Choo-Choos.
They appear in later games. But they get destroyed with one hit and don't subdivide because we have such attack strength with our sword.
That they die instantly.
They die instantly, yeah.
But
more of this stuff.
But what the game did is that they gave him equipment every so often that let him go through obstacles. Huh. So, at one point you're giving, diamond gloves that can slash through vines and stuff.
Okay.
Instead of,
Yeah, instead of that being strapped to your monsters and they have to keep it as, a dead move slot.
Yeah, so it's never... I always thought that was a better use of the mechanics.
I would agree, and I appreciate what Pokemon Sun and Moon did.
Yeah. But again, it's one of those things of with Zelda, since it's an item and it's just part of your inventory instead of taking up a slot, that's much better than, having it just take up space. Because if something's useless and takes up space, it's never fun. Unless it's a survival game where half the fun of the game is figuring out...
inventory management.
Well, as much as that...
Or in the case of Resident Evil 4, figuring out where to keep the shotgun. Oh god. Okay, so these things. These are like-likes. Do you know what like-likes are?
They're gonna suck you up, I know. I played enough of Link's Awakening to know I dealt with those things.
Yeah, so if that monster had absorbed me any longer, it would have taken my shield, my expensive shield.
Yeah.
They are shield eaters.
I remember that bit.
And they're the worst, and they actually only appear in a very few number of titles, but they are memorable because of how big of a pain in the ass they are. So we got the stepladder, which is in many ways another raft for us. I don't know.
It's just it's a vertical raft.
Not even, because there's no verticality in this game yet.
Oh yeah, true.
But okay, so we had to kind of walk through this area before, and now that we have the stepladder, we can do this.
Oh, that's kind of neat. It's showing the mechanics.
Yeah, and that's useful later on because they kind of force it upon you. Oh, well, hey, now that we know what this room looks like, it's a dead end.
It's a dead end.
There's some trick though, like if you stand on a ladder in certain rooms of this dungeon, enemies can't get to you because their programming keeps them on the main terrain.
They're just like...
Because the step ladder does not count as terrain in the enemy's mind.
They're just like... That's just a step ladder.
Yeah, like if we stand here, they won't come to us. So let's go around here. Also, it's interesting that you can like walk off, kind of like that, even though it doesn't connect anything. It just still provides an extra platform.
That's cool.
So I don't know what this shape is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a dragon or something. Dragon head.
Oh, let me see. I'm trying to look at it.
Yeah, if you look up somewhere online, there's like names of each labyrinth in this game, and they'll kind of describe what they're. Hey, it's Manhandla again.
Manhandla.
So there's a fun fact about Manhandla is that it kept its name in Hyrule Warriors, and you'd think that many years later they wouldn't be able to keep that name. Walk into the waterfall. I think that's kind of a secret for the Death Mountain region. Yeah, because Manhandla reappears in Hyrule Warriors as a very difficult boss, and it keeps its name. And anybody who mentions it is like, I can't believe they let it keep that name. But then again, that's also the same game that has the sorceress with the righteous boobage. So,
it's a Koei techno game. They just do whatever the hell they want.
Well, oh, okay. What's going on in this room? This room came at us hard and fast. Okay, so all right, we're gonna go south and we're gonna go east, and that should be the boss of this dungeon. Which, if I remember right, is quite the beast.
Quite the beast.
Oh no, because like we've defeated some other dungeon bosses pretty quickly. Dongo was easy. Even Aquamentus was pretty simple. This guy, not quite such a pushover.
Well, you have a lot of hearts. You should be fine.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can do it no problem. So I think this is... Yeah, okay, I tried to push that block just now. I can't. But now that I've defeated all the enemies in the room, I can. Complex puzzle solving in Zelda 1.
I mean, it...
So I forget the name of this beast.
Is it Double Dragon?
Oh yeah, so despite having the upgraded shield, I don't think we can block his attacks anyways. But if we lay into him really hard like that, we got him.
Oh wow, that was so tough. So tough.
Well, if we had less hearts, he would have been.
Yes, that's true.
He would have kicked our asses. 6 ways to Hyrule.
That's fair.
And we have more Triforce.
We got more Triforce.
More Triforce.
It's kind of funny because with the name of the Triforce, you think in threes.
Well, it's a triangle.
Yeah, true.
Like that's the original thing. Is like it's just a triangle. That's why it's a Triforce. While Link prays to Jesus Christ.
Hey. Don't. He prays to Yahweh. Thank you very
Yahweh.
much. Link.
10,000 years later, Fei Fong Wong comes to slay him. But,
It's true.
But so I'm traveling off actually with a purpose very quickly because now that we have the stepladder, there's a couple of things we can go over and get on the eastern seaboard.
Yeah. Now.
Also, we need to go and grab the arrows.
I can see why some people compare this to an RPG to an extent, just because of the power progression.
I mean, I guess you didn't really see this kind of power progression in games at the time.
Well, that's because a lot of power progressions were...
Whoops.
Okay,
I
power...
blocked.
power progression in games at this point was temporary.
Yeah, like especially even like Super Mario Brothers, it's just like you have a super mushroom for like a little while, or you get a fire flower or superstar. But Zelda, it's stuck, and you had to continue to use them on your adventure.
Yeah, no, like in general, like you have a lot more power in this game than anything else. So to me, that's actually kind of an interesting one, and I can see where the RPG comparison comes from. To an extent, I never thought of Legend of Zelda as an RPG. I always thought of more as action, adventure, puzzle solver type thing.
Yeah, look at. Is there something here? No, guess not.
Let me look at the map. I'm looking at the map.
Well, you can bet I want that magic sword as soon as we can.
Oh, you gotta go
Buy something, will ya? Oh, well, let's actually buy the arrows.
That would
So,
help.
what's interesting here is we bought the arrows, but what we did is we bought the ability to use the arrows. Because now the icons change to a bow and arrow, and every time we fire, it uses up 1 rupee.
So Link is just
So
like...
rupees are now ammunition?
You can get that heart?
Yep. I want to take out the... oops. Went too far. Too far off the screen. Take out the Octoroks. And die, Zora. Okay, Zora didn't die.
Die, Zora.
Die, Zora. No. Die, Zora. Oh, we got hit. But because it only did like a fraction of a heart, we didn't take the damage. But, so we can cross here using the step ladder and get another heart piece. So, what is that? We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're at 11 hearts.
You need 2 more hearts.
Not quite to the magic sword, but they definitely balanced this game out. For as obtuse as this game is, they really thought about it.
Well, they tried. Like, this is one of those games... Like,
secrets.
I try to be very careful with, like, about talking with old games sometimes, because, again, that's kind of the whole point is, okay, there's a heart there.
Oh, yeah! Just what I needed. I really... Because... So, this is farther in this game than I have ever gotten as a kid. You know, little Hal playing this as a tiny child, didn't understand the game. I got maybe as far as Dungeon 4. I kind of remember that boss, but even that was stretching it. Like, I think I had some older friends who figured it out for me.
Ooh.
But, you know, like other neighbor kids who had it. But now we're kind of into that territory where I didn't figure this game. I remember it was when Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess came out, and so I was hanging out with some friends, and I'm like, you know, I've never finished the original Zelda, I really want to figure it out. And that's when it happened, and I grabbed, like, the emulator for it so I could emulator save whenever I felt like, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna do this, and we did. And many emulator saves later,
My friend,
figured it
Will actually tried to go through this game very recently, and he
yeah?
had an interesting time of it. The guy,
did he succeed or fail?
I gotta ask him if he did. Admittedly, the most famous game story I have with Will is him playing Pokemon Stadium at MagFest.
Oh yeah.
There's a very unique story, and I'm not. I should probably.
That sounds like a story for another day.
I'm gonna save that for later. Maybe if we do a Pokemon episode. But besides then, but let's focus on Zelda and other
random fact. Like as a kid, I didn't know the names of the enemies, and so I call these desert creatures Fahooters because they made that hoot sound whenever you hit them.
I just called them baby Sarlaccs.
Yeah, they're Fahooters. But we're gonna go. Those are. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Things.
Spinners.
Pie something. I don't know.
Pie to meet you.
They reappear in like later Zelda games occasionally. Pea-hats, that's what they are.
There's apparently like a weird secret thing. Goat.
Somewhere in here there's a power bracelet.
Hold it. Go to the next one.
Yeah.
You want to
let's say this one?
No. The other dude.
This one?
No. The one to the
Far
right.
To the right.
Yes, that's the dude.
This is the power bracelet, and it lets us do power bracelet things.
What does the power bracelet do in this game?
Oh god, those are Lionels. So, the power bracelet lets us push boulders. Boulders like those, which, according to some interpretations, are squirrel statues. I don't know who interprets them that way.
Those to me look more like snails, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, some people interpret them that way too. So these are Lynels, and they are centaur-like creatures that shoot sword beams. And they appear in this game, and they appear in A Link to the Past, and then they don't reappear for like 25 years in Breath of the Wild. And this is kind of a warp zone, where you can go down any one of these staircases, and it takes you to a different point in the game. So this one brings us here. Are you looking up Lionel's?
No, I had to take care of secret dark business.
Secret dark business.
Yes, my special secret dark business.
And this brings us over back here again. Because we want to go down, if I remember right, Dungeon 5's kind of in this general direction, persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. No, we're on the wrong side of the desert. We are at a different set of Armos Knights.
Oh god, why?
Because there's definitely some copy and pasted elements in this game.
True.
Okay, we're back where we started, which is where we kind of want to be. But yeah, Lionel's reappear. I like the Breath of the Wild version of Lionel's really quite a bit. They are so menacing and so cool to fight.
Yeah, I can
You
see
feel
that.
like you achieve something once you actually defeat them. Let's see. Okay, so this is a dungeon. Is this level 5?
This is level 5. No, you're level
This
6.
is level 6. Can we do it?
I think we can.
We probably can. Let's go out of order.
Let's do this in the special sequence.
Well, that's the interest. Oh, Jesus. I know what you are. I can block your shots with my shield, though. That's very important. So these are Wizrobes, and they suck.
Where's the Wizrobes? That's what I imagine they sound like.
I mean, that's as good as anything. I don't know. That's what they'd be like on Captain N, the Game Master.
Oh god. Oh, Link was on this show.
He was, and that's the same era that gave us "Excuse me, Princess." Aim at the eyes of Goma.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, so another classic Zelda enemy is going to appear in this dungeon. It's the Goma.
Oh my god, I just realized something.
Parasitic armored arachnid, Queen Goma.
I just realized something horrifying.
Yes.
That was the first ever voice for Link.
Yeah, and many years later we got Nobuyuki Hiyama to give us some grunts. Jeez, look at these guys. They're all lined up.
Well, you can't do wrong with the guy who did Gao Gaigar.
Hi! Hi! I've been reading that Ocarina of Time manga, and that's all I can hear in my head when Link speaks. And he actually is very vocal in that manga.
I would really love to get a Figma version of that Link, just because I think that's one of my... That's just... When I think of Link, that's where my...
It's a good design. I like that Twilight Princess kind of like up the realism on the whole thing, where he's got like a proper gauntlet for like archery on one arm.
He has such a good design in general, and the fact that design just... That's kind of like one of those things that just like, it's a perfect redesign as you're going to get for Link, in my opinion.
Although, E3 just passed, and we saw that the new Smash Brothers is going to feature Breath of the Wild Link as the main Link. Which is the biggest departure Link has ever had in his character design. Oh, shit!
This is like the worst
This is what
thing.
NES Hell looks like.
This is like the...
No.
Is he going to take your shield?
My shield is gone. He took my big shield. He ate it. My shield has been eaten, and soon my life is to follow.
That was shocking.
Alright, Space Cadets. We're gonna have to continue this at a later date.
Yeah, fair.
Next time on Hal and Dave's Trip to Jupiter.
Will we get another shield? I don't know.